in Germany, before in World War II, you had a really educated, really cultured. There, Nazism is not something that is like a German phenomenon at all. Like I want everyone to like realize, according to how nature operates, they happen to be kind of the most advanced place at the time and very ripe for it. But that phenomenon was not something that was specific to Germany. That could happen in America.
Yep.
That could happen in that same exact phenomenon can happen. And it's not about good guys, bad guys, and whatever. What it's about is that if you fill the air with a certain kind of if you basically what the media does today, I'm not talking about Nazism. I'm not talking about who's right, who's wrong. Forget about that. Deborah, I'm not saying, I know Deborah got mad at me once on Facebook. I'm not talking about right wing, left wing. We're only talking about unity here. We're talking about phenomenon. Think about what we're saying now in the same way as the sand in that image, in that artist's work there, or about the water molecules, the water crystals, right? Just think about it like that. Like, think about that all of the people, even a well educated, well mannered people, are like the water. If you start filling them with this kind of hate, whatever it is, you can affect them all. You can get them all to be vibrating in a certain way. What we're even talking about in the wisdom of Kabbalah, it's not just water. Water is something you can measure, it's physical. Um, the sand is something that you can measure and physical. We're even not talking about thoughts, which probably they can all be measured too. But the power that we have in our thoughts to affect things for the good. Forget about what the news stations are saying about the elections. Forget about the division you see between you and your nephew or your neighbor or your coworker. They like this candidate and you like that candidate, and they stole these votes and they're burning these ones and they should count them, or they should. Forget all of that. Do whatever you want. It's your deal. You have a life, you have a neighborhood, you have a house, you have a town. Just do your thing, but also in everything, add into the system. We have to go through this transition. We have to add good thoughts, good connections towards each other.
And and we're also connected in this network to the whole of nature, which is another aspect of this. So we talked about how in a state of like you have today right now, let's address the elephant in the room. So right now, the US is the best example probably for this situation of mutual hostility that is happening, between different parts of society. And so the that affects society that we've established, but we are also an inseparable integrated part of the rest of the system. This interdependence is another force that is invisible to us, and yet the effects of it are so tangible. Again, just like the music that moves the sand, so the interdependence is like the soup in which we all swim. And because we're swimming in a single soup, you and me, Democrats and Republicans, all people on the planet, all vegetation, plants, minerals, and people and animals, all of us, and viruses, we're all swimming in a single shared soup. So now what you have is frequencies coming out of us are not just influencing the human level. We're also deciding or ordering, inviting, summoning different kinds of energies or balancing forces from the whole system. And now,
Mm-hmm.
if you think about COVID, what is happening right now? You know, the if you take this line of thinking and you keep going with it, then COVID it's not a disease of the physical body. COVID is not a disease of the physical body. COVID is a disease of the human network. And so to overcome it, and also to overcome it, we also have a wrong thinking about it, because it's not like we need to beat it. We need to win against it. We need to rather balance ourselves with where it's trying to push us so that we no longer are affected negatively by that force of nature. So if we as a system begin to treat that as a disease of the system, we might start coming to arriving at different solutions.